Get ready, get set, because it's time to go with the It's 420 Somewhere podcast. With your host with the most, the man voted most likely to smoke out with a Yeti, Mr. Brian Brown. Mr. Brian Brown. Now sit back and relax, because it's time to go live across the world. Because it's 420 Somewhere.
What's up, guys? How's everyone doing on this 420? So it's got to be 420 somewhere on this, what is today? Today is Paranormal Tuesday. How's everyone doing? See if this makes a difference here. Whoa, let there be light. All right, guys. Welcome. It's Paranormal Tuesday on It's 420 Somewhere podcast. And what this is, guys, this is a podcast that we go live every day, Monday through Friday, and we count down to 420, which is all things good, right, guys? And in the meantime, while we count down and after we count down, we get into a whole heap of fun and madness and just trouble. That's right, just straight trouble, guys. We do Movie Mondays where we review movies. We have some of the stars on the podcast to talk about it. We had Art the Clown. We had the Cujo lady. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. The star of Cujo. Monster Squad, guys. I mean, it just keeps adding up. Very, very cool. So Movie Mondays. We have Paranormal Tuesdays like today where we're going to get into spooky Christmas stories. And then tomorrow's Weed Wednesday. And then we got, True Crime Thursday, and then we got Fantastic Friday, and then we do a bunch of unboxings on Baked and Unboxed, guys. You've come to the right place. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, that alert button, because every time we drop a video, you're going to want to know about it. And why? Because we give a ton of stuff away as well. Not only do we do all these shows and we have fun, we're smoking a bunch of weed and we just have a great time, we also give a bunch of stuff away, guys. That's right. Mario wouldn't be pleased to hear me speaking like him. Luigi. Oh, guys. All right, so we do weekly giveaways, guys. Tonight I'll be announcing the winners of last week's contest. You got the Dr. Sleep signed axe by the actress that played Wendy. How cool is that? Life-size replica axe, plastic. You're not going to go chopping any doors down like Jack Nicholson or nothing, but it's a very, very cool piece. And then we're also giving away the Christmas autograph pack. We did the Rocky Horror Tim Curry box, and we ended up getting some great stuff out of the box, but it's a present for my girlfriend, so I'm giving away a Bad Santa autograph from one of the cast of Bad Santa, one of the main cast, not Billy Bob. Just so no one's getting misled. And then there's a Christmas animation voiceover actor that we have an autograph, both 8x10s as well. And then we got a whole mess of other giveaways, guys. Don't forget the November to Dismember is our horror icon tournament, guys. So we're blowing it up. It's going to be all last month and all this month. We're just finally getting our footing on this, figuring it all out. And it's getting fun. You got all sorts of cool matchup, guys. You had Michael Myers versus Three Finger from U-Turn. You had Jason versus Creature. Freddy versus Pinhead. Oh, so many guys. And then this week, last week, actually, it's wrapping up today. I'm going to leave the vote. I'm going to tell you guys what I'm going to do. And this is going to make all the sense in the world. I'm leaving the voting open across the board. We're releasing all the brackets tonight. I haven't been feeling good. If you guys watched the 710, you saw the beginning of my Simpsons, not the Simpsons, but you guys know what I mean. I'm starting to feel it. So I'm going to get all this stuff posted, guys. You know what? Before we run out of time, before 420, we got to get into the top 5 at 420. But before we do that, guys, remember the Horror Icon Tournament, we're going to leave it open. We're going to do all the brackets, the first round brackets. We'll do one call this week. Everyone will vote, and then we'll move on to the second round. And then next week, we'll all vote and move on to the semifinals and the finals. Wrap it up right around Christmas time, guys. And somebody is going to get a life-size Chucky Good Guy doll. That is right. All you need to do is like, comment, subscribe. Comment. It's the easiest way to win, guys. Hashtag anything, pretty much. Every comment's going to get you entered to win this triple threat Chucky prize pack. You're going to get the life-size Good Guy Chucky doll, autograph of Chucky himself, and then an autograph of Andy himself as well. Very, very cool. So make sure you guys are getting in on that. So many giveaways, guys. And then we're going to start the 12 days of giveaways for the holidays in a couple days. And that's where we're going to be going live at 7:10. Ask a question of the day. I bought 2 Advent Funko Pop Advent calendars, and we're going to open 2 a day up until Christmas. So we'll open 2 in the morning and 2 at night. I believe one is a Harry Potter Advent calendar and one is a Marvel Advent calendar. And we'll be giving away both sets when it's all said and done at the Christmas party, guys. And then we'll have a ton of giveaways every day as well. Oh, man. A lot of giveaways. A lot of good stuff happening, guys. All right. We need to get in the top 5 at 420. I've been yakking at you long enough, guys. We just got Christmas fails. We got all sorts of them. A lot of pets, a lot of weirdos, a lot of people falling. You guys know what's up. All right, we're going to get into it right now. Brought to you by the Healing Center, 1400 Needles Highway, Needles, California. Save some green on some green. Oh my God, Santa just flying by. They just dropped the wild weekly deals, guys. Make sure you're checking out the dailydank.com. They got the $50 ounce back. Oh man, it's fire. That's what I'm smoking on. All right, number 4. What the? Is it a squirrel? Is it a squirrel? Nope, it's a cat. Number 3, guys. We got Santa on a boat. Oh! Santa just broke his neck. Santa, are you okay? I love the slow motion. The most I love about it, the best thing I like about it is the voices. And they're like, oh. What? Oh, that sucks. He had gotten his footing. And then he takes someone down with him. I didn't even notice that. Someone was sitting in the chair. You just see a leg go flying up. Oh, damn. All right, number 2, guys. He's like a decapitated Santa. All right, number 1, guys. Oh, these cats in trees, man. We're wondering how Rosie's going to react with the Christmas tree. All right, that was your top 5 at 420, guys. Brought to you by the Healing Center. We got bonus round for you right now. That's a big old dog, too. Nothing like a roller skating Santa. Cats and trees, man. I love it when they get scared and run off. That's the absolute best. All right, guys. We got about 10 seconds. Blow up those comments. What are you getting into? Love to hear it. Love to hear what bong, dab rig, pipe. What are we getting? We waxing? Are we waxing? Christmas is coming. Or what are we getting into, guys? It doesn't matter because it's 420. Oh, man. You know what? I'm glad I got this little sucker all cleaned up and put back together. Loving this little, what is this? Wuka. The Wuka leaf buddy. Good to hit some, I don't know why they call it a leaf buddy when it's just for wax. But anyway, good for these little 420 sessions. Hits hard, heats up fast. Ooh, pretty good. Pretty good. All right, guys. How was everyone's 420? Blow up those comments and let me know. Oh, man, mine was good. I am definitely getting sick. Yep. Definitely. But the show must go on, as they say. And we got a good one, guys. I'm excited for this Paranormal. Do I have, I got nothing for Paranormal Tuesday. No production value. I used to. I don't know what happened to it. Anyway, got a good one, guys. We are joining our buddy at, is it Mr. Dark? Dark Stories? We're going to find out. I can't remember, damn it. Not doing him justice. We've listened to his videos before, and we got 3 creepy Christmas stories, guys. Paranormal, just creepy, conspiracy theory-ish, just it covers all our bases on this. We're gonna get into it, guys. These are pretty good, actually, and I love his videos, man. He does great. So make sure you go over there and like his stuff. All right, guys, here we go.
It was a cold December night a week before Christmas. My family always does Christmas in our Hamptons, New York summer house. The Hamptons are always quiet this time of year, as a large chunk of the real estate there is owned by rich people who have 2 or 3 other houses elsewhere in the country. My dad and I were at the house first before the rest of my family, as my mom and sister still had work until the next weekend. My dad was retired at the time, and school was over for winter break for me, so we wanted to just go to the Hamptons house early. We all have our own bedrooms in this house, which sits on a quiet dead-end road. My dad turned on the heat and water and all that stuff that he always has to take care of when we return for the first time in months. I brought my PS3 to play in my room. I spent most of the first day there playing video games. On that first night we were there was a big snowstorm, another reason we wanted to come early, to beat the crappy road conditions that would come for days after the storm. The next morning when I woke up and went out to the kitchen, my dad asked me when I built the snowman. I responded, "What do you mean?" He said, "The snowman in the backyard." I went to look out the window, and there was at least 2 feet of fresh snow. But there was also a snowman sitting in our backyard. It had 2 sticks for arms angled up into the air, and it had eyes and a smile carved into the head. The eyes and mouth side was facing the window. I said to my dad I didn't build that. My dad laughed and said, "Must be the neighbor kids." My dad thought it was an innocent joke, so I did as well. The next night is where things got bad, though. I was in bed asleep, and suddenly woke up to a distinct thump on my window. I was terrified. I pulled the blankets over myself to hide, to not be in view of whoever might be out there. But after 5 minutes, I started to wonder maybe it was snow that fell off the roof and blew into the window. I got up to peek out the window. I screamed, because at first I thought what I saw was a person, but it was actually another snowman standing right outside my window. There was an angry frown on this one instead of a smiling face. I screamed for my dad, and he came rushing inside. I pointed at the window, and this time he wasn't happy. He said he would go next door in the morning and talk to the kids' parents. I slept in my sister's room the rest of that night. The next morning, my dad went next door and rang the bell, but they weren't home. There were no cars in the driveway. That meant they weren't even in town. That was the only nearby house with kids in it, so this didn't exactly help explain the situation. For 5 or 6 days straight, nothing else happened until Christmas Eve night. The rest of our immediate family, plus all 4 of our grandparents, were now in the house. We were in the living room. This was before dinner, but it was already dark out. Someone knocked on the front door instead of using the doorbell. We weren't expecting any other family. I started to get nervous. My dad went over and asked, "Who is it?" Someone on the other side of the door started saying, "Please let me in, I need help." The door has no peephole or windows, nor are there any windows that would allow us to see who was on the other side of the door. My dad asked what's wrong, and the voice on the other side said, "I have no one to spend Christmas with, please help me." We all looked at each other now, and my dad yelled to please leave before we call the police. The person on the other side said, "Okay, I'll leave, please don't call the police." He never opened the door. We instantly tied this to the creepy snowmen. We knew it had to be connected. And we were right. On Christmas morning, there was a note taped to our front door. It said, "To the best of my memory, I just wanted to have a little fun. I built the snowman for the boy in the house. I don't have anyone to spend the holiday with. Hurt." In one way or another, I think whoever left that note on our door and built those 2 snowmen was mentally ill or unstable. It's very unlikely that it was meant to be a joke, considering he came to our front door. I think he was dangerous, and even if he wasn't inherently hostile, the fact that he did what he did is just enough for him to be considered somebody none of us wanted to meet.
Bum, bum, bum. That's right. Oh, man. So I got to tell you guys a story. It's not a Christmas story. It's an Easter story. So I went to my parents' house for Easter. They live probably about an hour away from where I live. And the kids decided they were going to stay there for the next day or two, stay the night at the grandparents. I come home, so I'm home by myself, and I get a knock on the door. Dum, dum, dum. And I open it, and this is probably like 11 o'clock at night. I open it and there's a young lady on my door wearing all white, and she has this gold makeup like that. It's like the kind of new trend. It's like glitter lotion, so it's not like you're putting on body paint, but like you kind of like a gold haze about you. Does that make sense? And I open the door and I'm like, "Can I help you?" And she's like, "It's Easter. I want to bless you." And I'm like, "Excuse me." She's like, "Yes, I would like to bless you." And I just said, "No, I'm good. Thanks, though." And I shut the door, and yeah, that's one of those stories. But now, saying it out loud, what if it was a real angel and I could have been blessed, but instead I sent them on their way like an idiot? I don't think that was the case, but all right, let's get into this second story, guys. Story number 2.
It was Christmas of 2016. My name is Andre, and at the time I was 21 years old. Our family was all at our Uncle Joshua's place for the holidays.
Good old
Well, it was
Joshua.
Christmas Eve. My immediate family, plus my cousins and other close family, decided let's go to my uncle and aunt's place in downtown Miami. We come from Connecticut, so we're not used to warm weather around the holidays. It was Friday, the day before Christmas Eve. My brother Nico and I, being young single males and being in Miami, wanted to go out. We were hearing about a bunch of Christmas-themed parties going on at clubs and bars. Nico was 18 at the time, but he had a fake ID, so we figured he'd be alright.
Oh, of course, with a name like
We went to this
Nico,
one
he has to
club
have a
in
fake
Miami
ID.
Beach that was having a Christmas-themed event. Mostly everyone online was wearing Santa hats, so it felt festive. But it was all a waste of time because at the front of the line, the bouncer not only told us it would be $100 to get in, but he also called Nico out on his fake ID. So we tried a bar not too far away, and we got into this one. There were some people wearing Santa hats here too. I guess that was expected on the weekend of Christmas. While we were at the bar, this older woman started talking to Nico. I overheard most of their conversation. The woman appeared to be mid-40s, and I heard her keep telling my brother how she has such a thing for younger guys with Hispanic accents. To be honest, it sounded kind of creepy and weird, but Nico was probably blinded by the fact that a woman was hitting on him. I just let him do his thing. The woman was wearing a blue Santa hat and had on a sexually provocative Christmas sweater. The two of them were talking
a sexually
for so long that I ended up
provocative
making friends with the
Christmas
guy sitting
sweater.
next
Watch
to me at
out.
the bar. And suddenly Nico patted me on my shoulder and said he's going to leave with the woman. I told him all right. I was happy for him, I guess. I stayed at the bar not much longer after that, and I just called an Uber back to my uncle's, assuming Nico would be spending the night with the woman. I was mid-Uber ride when my phone rang. Nico was calling me. I picked up to static. It sounded as though maybe he pocket dialed me, but I heard a male's voice in the background that didn't sound like my brother. And then suddenly another male's voice could be heard yelling. I said Nico's name over and over, trying for acknowledgement, but the call eventually disconnected. Obviously, this was a pretty concerning phone call. I was under the impression he was alone with a woman. I tried calling him like 10 times, and finally someone picked up. But it wasn't Nico. It was the voice of some older man with an extremely deep voice. When I asked who this was, he said he found this phone on the sidewalk. I asked him if he could drop the phone off at my uncle's place or if he could meet me somewhere. He didn't answer that. I just heard talking in the background, and then I heard screaming. It was Nico's voice in the background, screaming my name, screaming help. Then the call disconnected. I asked the Uber driver to pull over, as I was freaking out trying to call anyone in my family.
Oh man, this is dark.
I was picking up. I explained the situation to the driver, and he advised I call the police immediately.
Yeah.
That's what I did. The police came to my uncle's place, where I woke my family up, informing them that Nico was in trouble. I had to give my best description of the woman's appearance from the bar and what time he left the bar. Then, my dad and I, along with the police, went to the bar that we were at, and it was then that I got a phone call from a random number. It was Nico. He was out of breath, gasping into the phone, explaining that he was kidnapped and barely escaped. He was currently using a stranger's phone. All of us went to Nico's location, which was a sketchy street somewhere in North Miami. When we found him, his face was a bloody mess. He had 2 black eyes, and all of his possessions that he had on him were stolen. He gave his whole story. He left with the woman who claimed to have called an Uber or Lyft. When the alleged ride arrived at their pickup point, which was in some quiet back alley area, Nico found out once inside the car that it wasn't in fact an Uber. It was a trap. There were
Damn.
2 men in the car who immediately held him down and threatened to shoot him if he didn't keep quiet. They started to drive for a while, and during this time, one of the men called my number and they threatened to harm him if he yelled out anything, which he did, and that explained the bloody face and black eyes. They broke his phone, took his wallet, keys, and whatever else was on him. As the car was stopped and he wasn't being held down anymore, he ran for it out of the car. They didn't chase him, the car just sped off and disappeared. He said he believed they were going to kill him and dump his body somewhere if he didn't run. Police apparently were never able to identify the woman who appeared in the video footage from the bar. Nico said none of the men were wearing masks, more of a reason he thought they'd kill him. This completely ruined the entire holiday weekend, but we were all just happy he was alive.
That's crazy.
On Christmas night, we were all awoken to Nico's screams in the middle of the night. He was screaming, "She's in the house." I woke him up from whatever nightmare he was having. I have to say though, him screaming "she's in the house" made me think back to her creepy smile, and made me sleep with one eye open that night.
Ugh. That's more of a true crime. We should have saved that one for Thursday. Oh man, that was horrible. Careful who you're going home with, folks, on this holiday. What was the deal with the Santa hats? Like, I thought that was going to be like a whole like cult thing. Like, we ended up getting invited to a blue Santa hat cult, and all of a sudden Alex Jones popped up and the frogs were gay and things were going insane. Oh man. Oh, that was, God, you know what? That was creepy, but it kept my high. Like, it didn't blow my stoniness. So, okay, we got one last one, guys. Let's check this one out.
I bought a small house with my brother George a couple years back. We hosted Christmas the first year we lived in the house, just as a way of getting the family to see the place and getting everyone together for the first time in forever. We don't have the biggest family in the world, so it was the 2 of us, our parents, our aunt and uncle, cousin, and our sister and 2 nephews. Our sister came with our nephews and her husband first to help us out with the cooking and preparing.
Oh, messed it up. Sorry, guys. Let's do this again. Try this again. Mr. Dark, by the way, is the name of these videos. I kind of upped the volume on this one a little bit.
I bought a small house with my brother George a couple years back. We hosted Christmas the first year we lived in the house, just as a way of getting the family to see the place and getting everyone together for the first time in forever. We don't have the biggest family in the world, so it was the 2 of us, our parents, our aunt and uncle, cousin, and our sister and 2 nephews. Our sister came with our nephews and her husband first to help us out with the cooking and preparing. They brought their dog Mika along as well. Since they lived 2 hours away, they were going to be spending the night at our house. The rest of our family lives under an hour away, so they wouldn't be staying. Not that that house would have much more room for additional people staying over anyway. During our Christmas dinner, at one point we talked about some of the murders that happened in our area recently. Bodies had been found in the woods in our county. It wasn't a topic that we kept going long, as our mom and my sister wanted us to drop it for the sake of the holiday and the kids. After dinner, we all had some wine in the living room with a Christmas movie on in the background as we talked. After a few hours, the family started to slowly leave, until it was just my brother and I, and my sister, her husband, and her kids. The kids went to bed before us. The 4 of us stayed up later having more wine. My girlfriend ended up coming over past 10 to spend the rest of the night with me, since all of her family had gone home. Eventually, Christmas night was over, and it was time to go to bed. I woke up to my girlfriend shaking me. The room was still dark. I groggily looked at the clock next to my bed, and it said 2-something a.m. I asked my girlfriend what the issue was, and she whispered, "Listen." I listened, and heard Mika out in the hall growling. I got out of bed and entered the hall to see what was going on. Then I saw that the back door to our house was wide open. The breeze of cold air started to hit me in the face. Mika was looking out the door. I checked if anyone was out there, and as I was at the back door, I heard my brother's voice call out my name from the darkness outside. He sounded like he was far away in the woods. I was worried he was in trouble or needed help with something. I went back to my room to tell my girlfriend, as I put my shoes and coat on. I stepped outside with a flashlight. There was a light dusting of snow on the ground, enough to see footmarks leading from the back door down to the back deck towards the woods. I yelled back George's name very loudly. I heard his voice call back my name. It was confirmed he was in the woods now. But oddly, as I entered the woods, his footprints slowly faded and got harder.
Oh man,
to
I'm
see,
watching this
until
with
they were
these
just
headsets
impossible
on,
because
and
he was
there's like the
following
noise,
entirely.
the surround sound noise
I
is
screamed
creeping
back
me
at
out,
the top
man.
of my lungs, "Where are you? What's wrong?" I once again heard George's voice call back just my name. Every time he called me, his voice was the same distance away. I was uncomfortable getting any further away from my house because I didn't want to get lost in the woods. I tried finally calling George's phone, but he didn't pick up. I continued a little further into the woods, but now George's yelling stopped. As much as I yelled out into the woods, there was dead silence. Not even the sound of a bug in the freezing cold. Just the sound of the light breeze. And suddenly my phone rang. I was hopeful it was George, but it was my girlfriend. I picked up, and she said, "Chet, George is in his bedroom right now."
What?
"What?" I said. That didn't make any sense. I was hearing his voice this entire time in the woods. I asked her to check if my sister's husband was also still on one of the pull-out couches, and 30 seconds later, she said yes. Suddenly, I felt like I wasn't alone in the woods, like anyone was about to grab me from any direction. I turned back the way I came and started running as fast as I could. I didn't stop until I saw the backyard light from my house becoming more visible through the trees. I made it back to my house, and everyone was awake now. George and everyone else had a look of horror on their faces when I explained that Mika was growling, looking at the wide open back door, and the fact that there were footprints leading into the woods. But the scariest part was that I thought for sure that the voice I was hearing was that of George. And whoever
I
it
was
was
saying
knew my
his name too, yeah.
We contemplated calling the police for half an hour, and then ended up doing so. A police officer came and just asked us any questions like if anything was stolen, if we know anyone that may mean us harm, etc. Then within half an hour, and after telling us to call back if anything else happens, he left. I don't know if I think this had anything to do with the murders that were going on at this time in our county, but I did think it was worth mentioning in the story. Nothing else did ever happen after that night, but we can't for the life of us logically explain any of this. I'm still scared to go in or near the woods past dark.
Oof. Make sure you're hitting up Mr. Dark's channel, guys. That was pretty freaking awesome. How cool was that? Man, that last story was creepy. Had me all engaged, too. Oh, man. Hey, I want to give a big shout out to our very own Apple Snapple. If you guys didn't know, she has a very, very awesome YouTube channel. YouTube channel. Over on here, it's Apple Snapple. Just search Apple Snapple. Super easy to find, guys. A lot of killer 420 content. You're definitely going to want to check it out. I was super impressed. Give it up for our very own Apple Snapple. All right. Appreciate all you guys and everything you do. And you guys are making this group, this channel, so awesome. So let's share the love. Jump on over on Apple Snapple and make sure you're getting those likes and subscribes and those comments and blow that up over there. I believe she had 100 subscribers not too long ago. How cool is that, man? Oh, one day at a time. It takes a long time. I remember when we were stuck on 3,000 something. And for months and months and months, I was like, and then 420 was coming around. I was like, can we get 4,000 for 420? And we didn't. But eventually we scratch our itches. No, eventually, I got it. So yeah, just awesome stuff. Happy Apple Snapple. Make sure you're checking out the daily. Sorry guys, I'm definitely getting sick and I'm high too. So check out the dailydank.com, guys. I'm adding stuff over there. Hopefully I can get some stuff done tonight for in the morning for 7:10. I have a feeling I'm going to crash out pretty hard, though. It's me, a bong, and some NyQuil. I think is how it's going to go. All right, guys. So make sure you're tuning in, checking out everything. New deals dropped over at the Healing Center, 1400 Needles Highway, Needles, California. They got a $50 ounce. They got, $30 half ounces. Just fire stuff. They got $10 grams of the snack packs. wax is what I call them. They're the dual cups. So you get like a batter and then like a shatter, or a batter and a shatter, or a shatter and a crumble, or batter and a wax, whatever it is what you're going to get. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting delirious. I'm tired. I'm going to get this done and up for you guys. All right, appreciate everyone tuning in. You guys are awesome. All right, I will see you at 7:10 in the morning. Actually, I'll see you in a little bit for Baked and Unboxed. We'll get it all done. We'll get it all uploaded. We're going to announce some big winners, guys. I haven't picked them yet, so it's your last chance. Make sure you're jumping over there and blowing up those comments. Baked and Unboxed. Get in on those giveaways, guys. All right, I will see you at 7:10 a little later on today. You guys know how it goes. All right, appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the morning. All right, see you guys.
Thank you for joining us on the It's 420 Somewhere podcast. Broadcasting worldwide and brought to you by thedailydank.com. Check out our merchandise and amazing content. And follow us on all our social media. Now, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.